Okay, welcome back. Well, welcome to everyone. Thank you for joining me today. The title of today's IG Live is Adjusting to the New Life as an International Student. Um, so I got a lot of questions from people saying, oh, what banks do we register with? Oh, what do we do here? How do we get money? You know, all those questions when you settle in. And I decided to invite three other of my friends to come answer those questions with me. And today I have Ladi, Pearl, and Di, and I'll let them introduce themselves. Okay, Bolu. Okay, Ladi, we'll start with you. Do you want to tell us who you are and all that?
Hope everybody can hear me. At least do you test?
No, I can hear you.
Okay, then that means everybody can hear me. I want to do that everybody can hear me.
Yeah.
Hello everyone. My name is Ladi. Ladi Adeoluwa. I'm a first year PhD student at the University of Alabama. I'm currently studying electrical engineering, and my research interest ranges topics like LiDAR, radar, deep learning, and radar signal processing. So it's nice to be here.
Fancy. When you mean radar, what do you like? What at the end of the day, what's it used for?
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry to put you on the spot.
It's fine. No, it's fine. It's fine. Radar stands for radio detection and ranging. It is a technology that is ubiquitously used mostly in the military for detection of aircraft. But with recent improvements in technology, the amount of use cases have increased. So you see it used in smart homes. You see it used in for biomedical applications. Also, I don't know if anybody here knows about Google Soli, that is on the Pixar phones, where you use hand gestures to control, like your phone, interact with a computer screen, human computer interaction. So, yeah, radar is just becoming a new technology. It's everywhere now.
Cool.
I'd be boring.
Like
No, I could never do it, so I'm happy for you. I'm happy that you're planning to change the world in that aspect. I'm happy for you. So, Pearl, do you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, sure. Hi guys, my name is Pearl Abue. I'm a third year PhD student at UT Austin. That's like the University of Texas at Austin. My research is focused on indoor and outdoor air quality. Specifically, right now, I do a bunch of things, but right now I'm working on a project that has to do with chlorine-initiated chemistry in the atmosphere, and how that influences the formation of secondary organic aerosols and all that stuff. But yeah, that's why it's nice to meet you all. It's nice to be here. And it's nice to see people from my space joining me.
Of course. Okay, so Dia, do you want to introduce yourself? And shortly, when Dia is done, as the tradition is in this house, we're going to all say how you guys met me, and I will give my own version of the story. So Dia, do you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah. Hi Tolu. Thank you for putting this together. And I'm currently doing a master's in engineering at Carleton University in Canada. I'm doing a program in technology innovation management, and basically what that is trying to solve problems and create values with technology. As simple as it sounds, not so complicated like I discussed. Basically, identify an opportunity, try to apply technology to solve problems. A lot of technology emerging, people don't. A lot of technology are emerging, and a lot of problems are still there. So, how do we actually use this technology and apply them to create values? And by value, I mean, build companies, help companies solve more problems. And that's it, really, in simple terms. I do a lot of other things while in school. I currently work for the University Business Director, where we also help companies as well. So overall, like, my interest is revolving technology, products, business. I also work for the student consulting group in the university, and I'm currently leading a team of 5 consultants working on it for and impact management academy in the US. So yeah, simple summary of myself.
Okay, so
And
much
you want me
for
to
being
go first?
simple. No, I'll start with Pearl. I want to start with Pearl. But thank you, dear, for introducing yourself. Thank you all for coming, three of you for coming. I also like to say why I invited the three of you. In particular, I invited Pearl because she's one of my first friends to have moved here. She moved here in 2018. Her, Ladi, and Busai, a couple of other friends. And then she has been helping students secure admission. Well, disclaimer, not secure admission per se, but like going through our SOPs, going through, let me say that. But like she has been helping a lot. She's a volunteer at Master's Prep. Shout out to Chadra and Okamino. And Ladi as well. And Ladi is one of the people who, if you've watched my interview with Ladi on YouTube, Ladi was one of the people who helped me prepare for my visa interview. And he's like the strictest person you ever meet. So I always recommend people to go through him. And Dia is someone who also moved to Canada. He has a whole story that even me, I'm yet to hear, but I decided to bring someone in from Canada this time. So yeah, welcome. So Pearl, I'll start with you. How did you meet? And while this is going on, please leave your questions in the Q&A tab so that we can start by like 2:15 to 20. So Pearl, yeah. So what's your version of how you met me?
I'm guessing that most of the people on this page have already listened to our podcast, so they really know like the deep gist. Basically, Tolu and I were course mates at CU, and that was how I met her. Like, I mean, in short story, that's how I met Tolu. Yeah. We worked together a couple of times over the 5 years that we were in school together. I was her general secretary for like 2 projects. We were roommates a couple of times, but like that being said, that's how we met.
Yeah, and then I came to Texas and I gave you COVID and all the
and then she came to Texas and we recorded a podcast that's on her page. Gave me COVID and I survived.
Yes, we survived. Okay, then Ladi, so how did we meet?
Firstly, I don't know who just put something. I'm not strict. Who said I'm strict?
That's a lie. No, she's right. Don't lie. If you're strict, accept it with your chest.
Yeah, but like I've been smiling. I've not met that person, and I've been smiling since. So I don't know how she knows. Do you get?
Oh.
How I met Tolu. I think I just know you. You've just been around. We attended university together, so we were in engineering. So I guess. And you were friends, special friends with one of my roommates that year. So I guess that's how we knew each other. Then we became closer when we worked on the board or the admins of Master Prep. I think that's our closest
time together.
That's closest work we've done together. Yeah. So since then, strength to strength, we started another group for people that were in the US. Just a lot. So yeah.
Okay, thank you. DI. Yeah, you're right, Ladi. Yes, awesome. Okay, yeah, and DI.
Oh yeah, so I met Tolu in CU as well from first year. Tolu was mutual friends, or is a mutual friend, one of my close friends as well. So that's how we met. Still a special friend, and so we've been working together since then. We've also worked on 2 leadership projects actually, and since we're close.
Dear, we can't hear you.
Yeah.
Oh, are you done?
I'm finished, bro.
Okay. Yes. So yeah, Dear was that guy who would always he believed in me as a leader. So I'll never forget it. Dear. So yeah, so thank you and that's how we met and all that. So thank you guys for coming here today. So before I address some of the questions that we got on Instagram, I also want to ask each and every one of you. I'll start with you, Ladi. Since you got to when you first moved to the US this year, what would you say was your biggest struggle, and would you say you have overcome it as an international student?
Oh yeah, I think my biggest struggle since coming here was basically just adapting to the education, the educational system here. It's a bit different, especially if you do technical courses like engineering. Like it's a whole different ballgame. How I thought in Nigeria is mostly theoretical, and here you are encouraged to apply what you learn. And it was a huge challenge for me. I remember being very depressed and not. I thought I was smart until I came here. And you just go back. You come back. A lot of assignments as well. You can't do anything. And there's just a huge gap between the education in Nigeria and here. So that catching up was a huge hurdle for me. I guess we just resumed the semester like 3 days ago. And right now, I think I'm better prepared. I better understand the task as ahead. So it took a lot of adjusting, but that was like my biggest hurdle, like since coming here.
Okay. Yeah. Pearl, for you, what would you say was your biggest struggle as an international student? As an international student when you first arrived?
Honestly, everything that Ladi said, and like still like going into the educational aspect of everything, right? Knowing how to present my problems to my professors. Like when you come from Nigeria, the whole culture of asking questions or like being able to be open about the fact that you don't really understand what's going on isn't encouraged. So coming here, I felt like it was the same thing. So in my first semester, I found it really difficult. I wouldn't like talk to my professors if I had issues and everything. But like, yeah, that semester was really rough, and it was also a huge lesson for me. In my next semester, I had a great relationship with all the professors that I took classes with. I'd like just meet them and ask them more very random questions. So like, yeah, that really was the biggest challenge, knowing that you can just ask your professor whatever question you have, and yeah, being open about not understanding things. So.
Okay.
But yes, I was back home. No, thank God.
Yes, Faith, I can relate because I'm always asking questions. Dear, before I come to you, so you guys are so PhD. Like I thought you guys would talk about how you struggled lifestyle wise, but I guess you guys are really serious with your books. But for me, my biggest hurdle didn't have to do with my academics. It was mostly the lifestyle. But we'll get to that. Dear, for you, what was your biggest like struggle adjustment when you got here?
I think we're on the same page, Tolu. It wasn't really about academics because over here, my program is made up of international students. So it's actually a program designed for everyone. So regardless of your background, so it was easy adjusting for me. And in terms of academics, I don't think that's a challenge for me. But what I'll say was the challenge is adjusting to the culture, adjusting to the time zone. When I came here, I was still working my Nigerian job, and we were like 6 hours behind. 6 hours behind, yes, and it was difficult, adjusting to that change, adjusting to the culture change, adjusting to the environment, and it was still COVID, so we were locked down. I don't even know if that's a pro or a con for me because if I imagine what would have happened if we're not restricted to stay inside the house, having to go out and all of that. So, but because we were restricted to stay inside the house, maybe that was an advantage. So for me, that was the challenge. Those adjustments were not really easy as of then, but we overcame them. So it's nothing to do with academics. I think academic level, I was doing fine, and also relationship with my professors and my co-classmates.
Interesting. Yeah, so same for me. Although I want to say, sometimes I think I didn't really struggle with anything because I was always asking questions, and I always had people who always helped me. And I have an episode on my podcast about how you should speak up in class, be open, and like even your professors just know you and like attend. There's some people also swear by office hours and all that. But I think for me, my biggest culture shock was the tipping, because like coming here really frugal, I was like, why did these people want my money? So that was the only thing that I took a lot of adjusting to. But I can't say anything of, and the fact that I didn't have a car, so of course I had to learn how to use the bus more often, pay for that. But that's all by the way. So next question I have before we go into the other questions. Some people have sent their questions to the Q&A tab.
So, sorry, new tip, or you just say not today?
What? What?
When you go to buy, do you tip them? Do you eventually adjust to tipping?
Me? Oh, do I tip?
Yeah.
This is a public place, so I don't know how much I can say. But then I try. If I really feel like you went above and beyond. But if my outing, it was a budgeted one, let's say I only plan to not eat more than this amount, there's nothing I can do to help you because me too, I'm working for my money. Do you get? So, but I mean, there are other times where you feel like, okay, this person doesn't just look like they served me out of because of what they can get from me. Then of course I would tip. And there's some other times where they force, now they do gratuity, so they already put it that you must tip a certain amount. So for those ones, I don't have a choice. Even the other day, I even tried to talk to the manager that why they add gratuity, but the man said that's how they do it there. So I can't fight the system. I'm learning now. So, but yeah, that's so. Sometimes I tip. Next question I'd like to ask you before we take the other question. So when you got here and you found out, a lot of people have this question of how do you make friends here when you come here? And I know 3 of you are quite introverted, maybe apart from Ladi. So for I'll start with you, Di. How would you say you have made friends? Like for someone who just arrived in the US 2 weeks ago, what would be or in Canada 2 weeks ago, what would be your advice for them to making friends?
Right. I think you're absolutely right, Tolu. I'm very introverted sometimes, most of the times. And for me, I try to be very deliberate with making friends, take advantage of any opportunity to make yourself visible. Well, while in class, I found out that a lot of people were relying on me for, to explain a lot of things to them. So I took advantage of that. People were coming to me in that regard. So I tried to make friends from that channel as well. I was very open as well. Me being introverted, it shouldn't affect like my opportunities, because over here you really need friends. You really need to stay sane, talk to people and all of that. Try on. So I took advantage of that. So my first advice would be when you get here, try to make relationships, make connections in classes. Classes basically, because that's the easiest place really. I can't say go out or go to events, but like classes are very important. Start making friends, make local friends as well if you can. And then my housemates were also very helpful. So if you live in a house or if you have neighbors, try to be friendly and make a great effort to make friends. You can even go as far as telling them, I actually need friends, because I think at the point, there was this particular housemate that, I literally told him, you're my only brother here. That was how we started vibing. And I think the first 2 weeks when he took me around. I think people are very kind here. So that really shouldn't be much of a big deal. You shouldn't find it so hard. No matter how introverted you are, if you make the effort, and you'll find friends.
Okay, so yeah, I like what you said about. Sorry, I like what you said about saying it outrightly. I think you're correct.
Sorry, carry on.
Okay, I said I like what you said about being outright and saying, I need a friend, like I'm new here and I'm looking to make friends. I think I like that, like being open about that.
Yeah, people are very kind and open here as well.
Okay.
Hey, can we be friends? Can you? This is what I need. And then at the point, just to mention, Tolu, I became very close with my professor, and we're very close friends now. I actually work for him, so we're very close friends. And sometimes, university officials are also there to help. I remember when I first came here. So sorry for like everybody. Like when I first came here, people were reaching out from the university as well. So I took advantage of that. They have to do for us. They need help. Advantage of that. That's what I'm paying for school fees, right? So if you can help me, so good. I'll be happy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Ladi, for you, what would you say has been? I know you're a roommate with someone from CU as well. Shout out to you, Demola. But how would you say you have the luxury of having a Nigerian as your roommate? But if you didn't have that, how would you say you would make friends or you make friends with them now?
I think it's feedback from someone. I don't know if it's me. Can you guys hear me clearly, or just me?
I think it's general. Can you try to mute
Or should we mute ourselves? Like if you're not talking, I can do that. Or dear, you can mute yourself and maybe Pearl, so I can. And I will mute myself. Okay.
Yeah. So that. Yeah. Anyways, yeah, I think having a Nigerian roommate, as someone I know, was like a huge advantage for me. But one thing I have to say, I don't know how it is in Canada, but over here, especially in the US and especially in the South, a lot of people are just individualistic. A lot of people keep to themselves. Nobody cares about. There's nothing like this is my neighbor. Nobody cares about the next person. So if you actually want to make friends here, I use the word that's very, very important. You have to be deliberate about what you are doing. Go for events, go to church. I'm not saying you should go to church to make friends, but like people go to church to make friends. You go to after your classes, you try and stick around because here after classes everybody just closes their books even before the lecture has finished. You close their books, they are jumping out. You try and stop a few people, try and ask them questions. It's very important. Also, I think you should have the mindset that I don't know if it's a good mindset, but like you should have the mindset that I've left my home country. I'm here. I've come to a new country. I have zero friends. Just forget all your friends in Nigeria. You have zero friends on the ground, like where you are now. You have zero friends, and you should look at being in school as an opportunity to network. You should not be living in the past. You should look at school as an opportunity to network. So any chance you get, try meeting people. Anytime I'm at the bus stop, I always make the point of reference. Like if there's somebody beside me, I'm just how far, what's going on, and like you have something interesting about you already because you have an accent. There's a lot of things you can talk about. A lot of Nigerians, when they come here, most of them are just looking for other Nigerians, looking for things that are so close to home. So they find it hard to expand and make new relationships. But for me, I guess it wasn't so hard. Like I've been to like 5 churches. Sometimes I attend 2 churches. I attend 2 churches in one day. I meet like new people. I'm just trying to grow. I'm trying to grow a network of people here. So I also have friends here and make new relationships here as well. So I guess it was hard for me. But I guess, like I said, I'm a friendly person.
Yeah. Thank you, Ladi. Yeah. It's one thing to always approach people. But okay, so I think this question will be for you, Pearl. Something is still screeching in the background. Di, are you able to mute your mic, like to tap on your video and mute your mic? Or is it the fan? No. No, can't be. Something is still screeching in the background. Okay. So, Pearl, I know for you, you're not exactly assertive, all the time. So, would you say for in the case of Ladi and Di, where they were able to like reach out and say, "Oh, I need a friend," or I want to be friends. For you, how were you able to do that? I don't think you come off as someone who would do that. So, for people who can't do that, what would you suggest would be a good way for them to make friends?
First of all, I'm already why you attack? Well,
I'll just be on. I'm sorry.
I was actually going to reinforce one of the things Dia said about just being different, right? I remember my first semester here, one of the friends that I had to do, I actually told her that I had friends. Like, I told her that I...
No, Pearl, sorry. I'm sorry to cut you off. I can't hear you clearly. Or is it my Wi-Fi? Can you guys hear Pearl clearly? It's scratching.
Can you guys hear me?
No.
Is everyone muted?
Something is happening somewhere.
Is everyone muted? Because I was muted. I was still muted.
Yeah, are you muted?
No, I'm not muted.
Okay.
Trying to figure out how to.
Yeah, if you tap on your video, you should see it come up. Just lightly tap on your friend.
I just carry on. I'll figure that out.
Okay. No, we'll wait for it because I can't even hear her. I think that's how it is. If you tap on, no, Pearl.
Yeah, it's just showing on my end.
It's showing on my end. So like tap your frame. Just tap it lightly, and then can you see the mute button?
Nope, there's no mute button.
Okay, can you see your mic button? Can you see your microphone button so you can turn it off?
There's no mic button.
Ladi, can you do it on your end?
Okay, so let me exit and then you carry on, Pearl, so that we don't keep
Okay, I
you
can
waiting,
call
and
you
I'll
back.
join you back.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Ladi, are you muted, Ladi? Okay, sorry for that, guys. Sorry, thank you.
Yeah. Sorry about that.
Okay, hi Titi.
But-
Thank you. Okay, so Pearl, I was saying, for someone who cannot reach out to people, for someone who cannot say, "Oh, can I be your friend?" How would you what advice would you have for those kind of people who want to make friends?
First of all, I don't know if I'm exactly that person, but what I can say about that is there was something I said that I actually did, which was telling someone that I was talking to, someone that's my friend up until today, in our first semester here, that I was lonely and I needed friends, and just telling her that made her invite me to stuff, and whenever anything was happening, she would invite me out. But I also wanted to add that for a lot of people coming here in your first semester, there's a lot going on. Going out of your way, outside of just classes, to make friends might be a little difficult. So I think that you should take advantage of the people in your classroom, right? It's a nice place to start. It's a good place to start. And that was where I started. And it's just, you probably will be doing homework with people. And it's not just about academics, right? You finish doing homework and you need to chill. You guys can go out and get dinner or get lunch together, and all those things consistently happening help you build a relationship with these people. And then after that semester, when you begin to have more time to do the things that you would like to do, yes, attend events like Ladi was saying, go for things, go to church, great place to find friends. Church was also a place where I found a bunch of people that I interact with today. Go, honestly, even Instagram. I have a friend today that met me on Instagram. She's a Nigerian, funny enough. She just messaged me on Instagram and she was like, "Hi, I saw that you're from Nigeria. Let's go for brunch." I went for brunch last year and we're friends.
It's always brunch.
It's always brunch. It's really always brunch. But that being said, you kind of just have to come out of your shell if you're the kind of person that isn't used to finding friends. And there's one thing about connecting with people the first time and then continuing to maintain that friendship. So I had a conversation with someone recently about maintaining friendships. If you meet someone that you think you want that person to be your friend, don't always wait for them to want to reach out to you. Send them a message. Tell them, "Hey, let's go out. Let's watch a movie. Do you want to come over? Organize game nights." There are a bunch of things. Just
How about you, Phil?
keep people in your circle. Maintain the connections. Don't just meet the people. Don't just meet with people when you meet with them. Be intentional about cultivating the relationship. So
Okay,
yeah.
thanks, Pearl. So I'm going to build on what you said about game night. So for this particular question, I could stay all day telling you about how to have friends because I'm as friendly as it gets. But I would also say so when I remember when I did the episode till today, it's not one of the most downloaded episodes, but most people give me feedback on that episode, and I will also really say that you should, because I really sat down and I thought, how have I been actively making friends and intentionally making friends? Because it can be a buzzword sometimes to just keep saying be intentional, be deliberate, because there's sometimes you're intentional and you don't still get your energy back. Let me be honest. So there's sometimes you'll now know, okay, this isn't working out. Who else can I be friends with? And then I realized that I shouldn't be expecting so much immediately because these people already have friends where they are coming from. So it's going to take another time. It could take even another 2 years to become friends. So, but I would say that one very good way to make friends is also to be out there. And I think when people see you're open, I noticed that I could talk, if I meet a stranger today, we could share so much in 30 minutes just because we're both being open, talking about their family, their dreams, their hopes, why are they here in America, those kind of things open up pathways for someone to feel like, oh, I'm really your friend. So I think it's very key for you as a person to be open, even though you tell them I want to be your friend, but you yourself have to be open so they can know you for who you are as well. Okay, so I'm going to direct this question at you, Ladi. So I'm picking questions for I'm sorry to address Ladi's question in the comment about how do you make friends during online classes. So for every online class I had last semester, I would check the Zoom list and anybody's name I like, or anybody who in class was always talking out, and let's say we need to form groups, I would reach out to them on Zoom. Hi, can I get your number? Can I get your email address? I'm looking to join whatever group you're going to be on for this class. And then you find out that from there, you guys eventually start meeting on those Zoom calls, and then someone will say, oh, let's all go for lunch. So that was another way I made friends. And if I saw your name was Nigerian by any mistake, I was definitely going to reach out to you in the message section. So you just have to be the one sometimes who hands out the stick. Okay, so next question. What does it mean? Is Minnesota a bad place to study in the USA? And does it mean if the school is not popular, it will affect my chances of getting a visa? Ladi, this is for you. You're muted. And I think I need to invite Dia back.
I don't think there's no bad place to study in the US. I think it's dependent on who you are as an individual. I wouldn't love to study in Minnesota because it would be horrible for me personally. I can't already be dealing with the issues I'm dealing with and be dealing with -2, -1. It's some very crazy weather. They have very crazy weather there. Even right now, it might be very cold, but you have to there's no bad place to study. And as regards the question of the university, mostly for visa interviews, the prestige of the university doesn't really count unless it's the top university. I don't know, like if you are going to Harvard, or you are going to Stanford, or you are going to the big schools, there's little you need to say. You obviously know the schools, but for an average school or a bottom barrel school, sorry to use the word bottom barrel, but small schools, it doesn't really matter. All you have to do is explain why you are going to this school, because you selected the school, you know why you are attending that school. I'm attending University of Alabama because I like the professors here, I like the weather, I like the food. You have to have a reason why you're applying to this particular university in this particular state. It's when you don't have a reason that it becomes a problem. So I do a lot of visa mock interviews for a lot of people that come to the US, and you ask them questions. Why did you select this school? And they will tell me is the best university for their program. That's a lie now, because I know the best university for your program, and it's definitely not the school. And if I can tell that from just being a student, like these people that are at the embassy, they know. So you have to have a specific reason why that school resonates with you. There's a reason why you said, oh, I like the research of Dr. This in this particular university. Or if you are going to maybe a place like Texas, Texas is the diversity in Texas is a lot. There are a lot of Nigerians. I'll feel more at home at Texas. If you are going to New York, Lagos, I like the madness of Lagos. Lagos is a mad place, and the closest city to Lagos in the US. So you have to be ready. It doesn't matter about the university. It doesn't matter about your own personal reasons for attending that particular institution. So
okay. Yeah, because that question was actually unrelated, but the guy, I just felt like we should take his question because he said he was going to come. Okay, thank you. Pearl, this one, I'll direct this one at you. Is it better to live on campus or off campus for people who are planning to move or looking for a place to stay?
Is this question from like a graduate student perspective?
I think yes, it's from someone who finished with us. So yeah.
Okay, so there are a lot of angles to this question. First of all, in US, a lot of schools have the option to live on campus as a graduate student. Like, you probably would only find that with private universities. However, as a graduate student, if you live on campus, it might be a good place to meet people. But most likely, the accommodation on campus could be more expensive. So if you're looking for more affordable options, it would be better options off campus because there's a wider variety. you can choose where. So if you want to live close to campus, you can live close to campus at a more affordable price. If you have a car and you can live farther from campus, it might be cheaper for you because the farther you get from campus, the more affordable housing gets. So there are actually a bunch of pros and cons. I live off campus and I'm not planning on moving to graduate housing. There's also some schools also provide graduate housing, which is not on campus. So I mean, if you're living off campus, might as well pick where you want to live, right? But that being said, there are a bunch of reasons. Just look at all of the reasons and choose what works for you as a person. Yeah, but I like living off campus. That's what I'm going to say.
I think if it doesn't make sense financially, that's what I have to say, to live on campus as a graduate student. You could be spending...
What if you don't have a car? Maybe not.
If you don't have a car, live in a city that provides accommodation for students, like in Texas, at least in Austin, with your student ID, you can ride the bus free anywhere. So
also I feel like if you're in a college town already, they already know that students are going to be living around the university. So the pricing of the housing there would make sense. But on campus, the rates for people living on campus is extremely high. Yeah. And in some universities, you get some very funny rules about when you're living on campus. There's some things you cannot do. There's some things you cannot bring. There's some things you cannot do in the apartment. That can't be paying the amount of money and being seeing you hostel again. So basically,
must you drag somebody? Must you just drag? It's just you just like to drag.
I believe that you should, if you are a grad student, there's no reason why you should be on campus. In fact, you should start living your life. You're an adult. Start living from there.
Please. I lived my life while I was on campus, Ladi.
Okay.
So, it's both ways. Yeah, but okay, dear. Do you want to say something?
Well, I think it depends because I know some, and I don't know someone particular, but I think it depends. Because I've met some, people that live on campus because maybe their labs are closer to the school, so it's easy for them, easy access for them. Other than that, I don't live on campus, so I can't speak so much to that. But here in Canada, the transport system is good, so that's not even an excuse. But as an international student, I'm assuming one of the things that is most important to you is finding affordable housing as well. So please don't consider living on campus. Best options will always be off campus, unless you have every reason to do that. In this part of Canada where I am, it's easy to find houses off campus.
Yeah. Well, okay, to be fair, maybe because of where I stay and because of is in New York, the prices were not that competitive. So even staying on campus was not there. I mean, there are houses that are more expensive than staying on campus. And I would say on campus because the housing was just owned by Cornell, not like it was exactly on campus or close to campus. So for Anita who asked this question, I would say if money, I think you just need to find out what are your priorities. Is it distance? Is it close to people? Is it being close to your friends? Like for me, I moved in to another apartment this semester because I wanted a roommate. I no longer wanted to stay alone. So it depends on like the things that are priority to you. Do you want to stay somewhere where the laundry is detached from the house? So it just has to be your priority. Which place is close to your department? Which place is close to the grocery store? So when you're able to scale your priorities, it should help you in your decision. So the last question for today, which all of you would key into, how have you been able to manage your budget? Like, how do you budget as an international student? Because like two of you here are PhDs, so you guys earn PhD money. I think you work on site. I had student jobs, but how would you say, and I've addressed this question in one of my episodes, Q&A episodes in season 1, how much I spend a month, how I manage my money and all that. But I will start with you, Pearl. How would you say you have handled, I know you also pay your own rent, so how do you budget your money? How do you handle your finances as an international student, basically?
I wish you did start with me. I'll answer.
But I have an issue. Can you guys like speak up a bit because of?
Yeah, sure.
Thank you.
Yeah, so my how do I manage my finances here? First of all, first thing that you should know is wherever you're going to live, wherever you are living, your rent should be 1/3 of whatever you earn in a month. That's like the rule of thumb.
Should not be above.
1/3 or less.
So, but wait. So, if I earn $1,000, how will I find a place for $330?
I feel like if you earn $1,000, you probably will. Hopefully, I'm hoping that you have support from other people, unless you're in a city where you can live off $1,000 comfortably. Like, I think $1,000 is
You can't
It's
live.
super slow.
But wait. Okay, that's if you're paying your rent by yourself.
that's if you're paying your rent. If somebody's paying your rent, you can live off $1,000 comfortably.
Comfort, exactly.
But if you're like taking care of everything by yourself, the rule of thumb is to pay 1/3 or less of what you're earning. And then after doing that, you want to try to eat at home as much as possible. Eating out, they see, one of the things that I came there was that eating out in US is like the cheapest. The food is like cheapest in the United States. It's not a lie, it's very true. But like those bills pile up really quickly, so you don't want to eat out all the time. You want to cook as much as you can, pack your lunch to school if possible.
Yes, I'm sorry, sorry to cut you short. There's something you said that even means is a hack I use, like pack bananas and granules because it keeps you full.
It keeps people like banana and granules like premium meals here and like on a serious note. But yeah, like you want to pack your lunch as much as you can. Then water is also something you don't want to be buying. So get a water bottle.
Water bottle, okay.
There's water around the school. You can always get a water bottle. But yeah, like that being said, those are like the primary things that really eat into your finances every month. And then utilities, internet, all those things, they eat into your finances. But like once you can cover those things, right, you most likely will have enough to even save after that. And like after doing that, things that you should also know, get a credit card. You need a credit card. So there's this misconception, but yes, get a credit card.
Yeah, I plan to get one this semester too.
Yeah, you should definitely get a credit card. They're honestly a list of things, but long story short, these are the things that I've learned. I'm not best at finance, but these are like little things. Also, there are a bunch of saving and investment apps that are low risk. So look into that as well to help and grow your finances.
Off the top of your head, what apps?
2 apps I use right now. Stash is very low risk and it's great for just saving. And Robinhood is great for investing.
Okay.
But I also invest on Stash. But yeah, that being said, those are things you should take into consideration.
Okay, thank you, Paul. Ladi, this is for you. Ladi, how do you manage your finances as well, even on PhD money? So.
Instead of PhD money,
because you guys are making money, but it's alright. Okay, if you say so.
So I think for finances, what you have to first realize is you have to know where your source of income is coming from. Do you have a rich father at home that's sending you money, or you are doing a job, or you should know where so you know how much like is coming to you at the end of the month. That is where you first start from. I don't know. I think you can work in Canada, but in the US, you can't work legally outside of campus.
Yeah, for more than 20 hours.
Keyword on legally. You can't work legally in the US outside of campus, and you can't work more than 20 hours. So regardless of even any job you get, your salary is limited. So like you said, PhD money. If you're on an assistantship or a graduate research assistantship or graduate teaching assistantship, you'll be as a PhD student, you'll be earning between about $1,500 to about $3,000. Now,
I know people in Canada that earn as much as $5,000.
$5,000, yes, possible. Yeah, those are Ivy League schools, yes. Depending on the city you are in, out of the money you know that is coming at the end of the month, first, you don't minus your rent. Don't remove your rent. Your rent is not even something you should even, because these people they don't send anybody. They'll kick you out like one time. They don't even. I remember the first month we had to pay rent. and Demola, my roommate, he thought that they were going to remind him about the rent, and he didn't pay it one day, $50. 2 days, additional $50 was climbing the money every day. And I think after 5 days, he'll call somebody and kick you out, basically. So you have to just remove your rent. Know how much your rent is, remove it. Then that's where the management now comes in. Knowing yourself. Me personally, I like baby boy lifestyle. I don't like to suffer. So just know, I beg you. But just know, live within your means. Live within your means. Personally, I'm a cook. I always post pictures of videos of me cooking. If you can cook, please cook. It saves you a lot of money. If you are eating out, and let's say you eat out maybe 4 times a week, that's like $40 to $60.
If not more.
If not more, and that's times 4 is a crazy amount of money. That's 6 times 4. I hope my math is correct. That's $240 a month. Who are you? Like, who are you to be spending $240?
What's your problem? If I want to spend $100 a month, it's not my money. Which one is who am I?
Well, that's what I said. You should know who you are. Yeah, Tolu, I'm not big like it. You get. You should know.
I don't eat out, but don't drag those like that.
But like, on the serious note, once you pay your rent, typically rent should be between $400 to $800. If you are
in the US.
Yeah, US.
Now give me an average. It can be far more than that, and it can be below that. You see most people between $400 and $800. Now, after let's say you meet that middle, your rent is $600. Reasonably, I think it's women that spend more on groceries. I don't think guys spend more on groceries because me and Demola is rice and spaghetti like every night. Rice and spaghetti every night.
Wait, so how much do you spend on groceries?
Yeah,
give or take.
You should spend more than $250 on
That's
groceries.
too much. Well, guys eat more than girls.
You should spend more.
Right?
Yeah, this is for me and Demola.
Oh, okay.
This is for me and Demola. You should spend more than $250 on groceries every month.
Where do you shop?
Every week or every
What?
Every week or every month? $250.
Month.
Wait, but where do you shop?
Oh, different places.
Aldi's, Walmart,
Aldi, Target. It just depends.
I know Walmart and Aldi's are cheap.
Shout out to HEB Texas.
What?
It depends on the one that is closest to you. Now you should also not forget that some of your some miscellaneous expenses like your electricity bill, water bill.
That's not miscellaneous, so budget for that.
Sorry, so that's not miscellaneous. Okay, electricity bill very important because electricity bill, water bill. Some apartments you pay for your internet is included. Some apartments they pay for
trash.
For greenhouse, they pay for trash. So just know where you're living and like just find a way to put it into your the amount of money you're earning. For me personally, after I remove my rent and my monthly groceries, I think I still have about maybe $700 left. So you can use it to invest in something. Don't just leave your money waiting inside an account, the savings account. It's just a waste. It's a waste of money.
Okay, we have
that's when you start, the devil will start entering your mind. I bought this steering wheel. So I'm a huge racing fan. And I saw this steering wheel online and I was like, steering wheel looks cool. Let me just run it. And it was like $250. And because I had money in my account you understand, I just click order. I've returned it now, but you should find a way to invest your money instead of just wasting it. Find a way to invest it. Like Pearl said, there are like good apps that I don't know.
She said Stash and Robinhood.
Yeah.
So we have about 6 minutes left. Oh, sorry to cut you there. Okay.
You should. For people in the US, you should get a credit card as well. Credit card might be a very good way of, if you are responsible, you should have a credit card, and it really helps you in the long run. It can also help you offset some bills and help you create like a payment plan for yourself. So yeah.
Yeah. I think but I don't know if I'm that responsible, but maybe we'll see how it goes. Dear, yeah. So, dear, for people in Canada, how do you? Yeah. So I'm answering Isiama's question as well. So, what are your expenses like in Canada? Because for me here, my rent comes with electricity and Wi-Fi and water, so I don't have to deal with that. But how is it in Canada? We have 5 minutes left.
Yeah, just to make sure I'm answering the question. Can you repeat the question again?
What are your
exact question again?
What are your okay? First question I asked was how do you? But that was from someone in the US. What's your budget like per month in the US? But in Canada, so what's your budget like? And what are your expenses? And do you? I know you don't have like. Do you work?
Right.
How do you make your money? And how do you budget it?
Right. Okay, so I'm going to try to be very brief. I think there's a lot of differences between what's happening in Canada and what's happening in US. Not so much, but some very distinct differences. One is credit card. It's something that I don't know why you haven't gotten your own Tolu, but credit card is something you shouldn't get. It's like one of the first things.
Because because that means I know that there's money at my disposal every time. That's not good. That's not healthy.
No.
Credit score. So
You need to get a credit card. Like, it's
how
even in the US, it's something you should have. Like, you can't even live without.
I know people are still surprised I still have a debit card. I know. I'm getting to it. Okay, so yeah, dear. Sorry to continue.
So it's good that you have a debit card and you always have funds, right? But sometimes you need to also build up your credit. So it's good to have that practice of spending from your credits, even if the money is already available in your debit. So when your statement comes, you can pay back immediately, which is fine. But if you really want to save your budget, what Ladi and Pearl has said, I think they're both true. Once you have your rent, if you want to, you can actually live on a lean budget, depending on on how your pocket is. Once you have your rent sorted out, the rest you can split the rest, to be honest. And then, so my advice would be, make sure your rent is sorted out. 1/3 of your earning might not be releasable right now as a student. Maybe that rule of thumb is general rule of thumb, but it's possible. I'm not saying it's not possible, but in some areas it might be difficult. But just make sure that your rent is covered up every month, whether you're getting money from home or you're working. So which leads me to my second point. I think it's important that, once you come, you find a job. You need to find a job, regardless of what type of job it is. There are jobs that pay minimum wage. As a student, when you come, you feel like, why should I go for this kind of reasons? I mean, you just have to go for those kind of jobs because that might be what is available. If you're lucky enough to find a job in university jobs pay more, and that will be, you'll be very lucky to find a job in university. There are a lot of them, not like it's difficult to find. I have a job in university I'm currently working on. Opportunities come up and you see jobs in university. So find a job, get the credit card, make sure your rent is sorted out. Once you've done this three, right? The remaining is just, I don't know, you could survive, basically. You could survive until you graduate. Yeah. And once you graduate, you get access to full-time jobs. Mm-hmm. You get access to full-time jobs. And in terms of jobs, right, as an international student, you can't work more than 20 hours off campus. So it's the same with the US. Here in Canada, it's also the same thing. And so, if you get a job in the university, you can work full-time. If you get a job off the university, you have to work just 20 hours. So if you're lucky to get the boots, it means you can get a job in the university, work full-time in the university. And then if it's a remote job like me, it means you can also have the opportunity to get another job out of the university and still work your 20 hours. So multiple ways of, multiple sources of income. And the particular question I'm trying to address is not coming to my mind. But yeah, try to get a job, basically. Try to get a job, try to make sure your rent is sorted out. I have a friend whose specialty is finding the cheapest houses. Yeah, finding the cheapest houses. And I don't even blame him at all because have your rent sorted out, the rest is, like I said, it's, you can survive. You can survive. And then when you're finding houses, it's very important that you find houses that and this will vary, depending on what your interest is and what the priorities are. For me, I made sure I found a house that I didn't have to make any other expense. My house comes with Wi-Fi, water bills, hydro, that's electricity, water bills, Wi-Fi, unlimited. Basically everything I need. So once I pay my rent, I can survive. And then I remember my point. In terms of meal, in terms of eating, I make my food myself. There's no shame in that.
Did you learn to cook before you got here?
I think I prefer making my. I was always an advocate of people learning how to cook for themselves, right? I mean, it's a part of survival. Everybody should know how to cook. So maybe I didn't know how to cook very well, but I always like the idea of cooking for yourself, right? Mm-hmm. So I make my food myself, and that saves me a lot of money. So what I do is I go to African stores, go grocery once in a month. In fact, there was a particular month I went grocery, I didn't go grocery for almost 6 weeks because I had food already stocked in the fridge. And so that will help you survive, have food, get your own stuff so that you don't have to spend money outside of the house. And in terms of transportation, again, what might make you spend money is transportation. So that really doesn't apply here if you're not going to be using Uber and Lyft and all the rest to move around. Maybe in your first 1 week when you get here because you haven't really understood the transport system. But once you understand the transport system and, transport system is not expensive. Once you understand the transport system, you don't need to worry about that. Take buses, right? Take buses. Campus card will get you free bus transportation. So overall, if you want to live on a lean budget, it's possible once you take care of your rent and you get a job. Yeah. And so my own story is a bit different. It's because, I'm also aside from taking care of my expenses, I'm also trying to foot in my tuition fee as well. So I don't have PhD money like Ladi and Tolu. So if you're also in that category, you might need to try to get extra work. So I was lucky I have a university job. It's remote. I also have the opportunity to do other stuff to get more money as well. So
yeah. Okay.
But even if you don't have that,
you can go ahead.
Just know that it's possible to live on a lean. Okay. Yeah, I think I'm done. Don't worry. Carry on.
Yeah. So it's already 3:02.
Okay. That Uber thing that I mentioned is very important because here abroad they minus the money before you ride. In Nigeria you can owe them you first go on the ride, before the next one you can owe them, and here they collect the money one time. And
once you book the ride, before they even send your driver, and it's $12,
$11. Anywhere you're going is so very stupid money. Tolu, there are a few questions I don't know that were on the chat
I'm coming. So because I don't know for sure when this is going to go off, but because we're already at an hour. But I wanted to build on what Di said and what all of you said. I believe in even living below your means actually, because so that you can always have a buffer. So first of all, for me, I don't have PhD money. I tried to get, and I stopped getting money. Although my parents are paying my rent, but I decided, okay, since they were doing that, I will figure out how to make my own living, how to foot my own living expense bills. So I decided to get jobs, and most people don't know how to get student jobs. So I follow all the Instagram accounts of my school, of the student life, dining, every Instagram account. So anytime they post a job that they're hiring, now I applied to Cornell Cinema recently, and what's the job? They only need me to go and be putting posters in different buildings, and the pay is $12 per hour. Of course I'm going to apply, and even though that still comes up to $100 per week, that's why I can get a second job that is as easy as that, and I always tell myself it will always fit into my schedule. It's not that hard. So if you're always bothered about how much will I have to work, you can even work 3 chill student jobs. I'm serious. What is then serving coffee for 2 hours, and some of them you earn $30 in 2 hours. If you work there every day, 30 times 5, $150 a week. So I don't know how it is for your school, but that's another way to make money in school. And then for budgeting, for someone who did not have, so there were some months I made $200 every week, and I wasn't buying clothes. My biggest expenses were on groceries. So like Ladi said, instead of taking transport to and fro, shop once or use Instacart. And I started using Instacart based, and I now know how to hack the system. No, I now know how to hack the system. Sometimes I get free delivery if you order above a certain amount. So if you do a monthly shopping, you get free delivery. And I did not stress, they still brought it to my house. I didn't pay transport. So, I mean, eventually you learn to hack the system. So, okay.
Sorry, just one thing down to say. Something everybody should know. If you're going to be ordering things, bear in mind that there's luxury tax. So taxes are typically higher when you order things to be delivered.
Even the prices are higher sometimes.
Yeah, prices are higher. It's some type of luxury tax because they are taking away the inconvenience of you going there and bringing it to you. So
yeah, but I still feel like the opportunity cost of some of these things can be looked over. Like, and I'm someone who, you know how, okay, I don't like to show this my Jebu side, but let me just say it for those of you that might be like me. So you know how you want to buy juice and like 4 fluid ounces and 6 fluid ounces. 6 fluid ounces will be cheaper. Sometimes I will calculate it. Okay, 6 minus 4 is 2. 2 divided by the price. If it's not cheaper, I will sit down. For me to do an online shopping is a whole ball game because I told myself this country will not steal my money. So if you have the strength to do that, then you can also do it, and you actually find hacks, honestly. And if you keep
the way Tolu is talking.
Leave me alone.
Tolu is the richest person.
Please leave me. Ladi, please, that's not why we're here. And then Ladi, please allow me to pass across my point, please. This can save some people. And if I order online, you know how they'll say send your referral code to people and you get money. You can also send it. Instacart to give me $10 free. So, and I'm always talking to people about all these things. So, and if I always ask a friend, I plan to go shopping. When are you going? Free transport. So you just have to know how to hack the system so you don't spend more than you're supposed to spend. I went in case. Yes. So someone asked this question. I want to direct it to you at DI. How do you make friends with your professors? So just think, if the IG live goes off and you guys have more questions, I will start it again and you can join. So DI, how do you make friends with your professors?
Yeah. Again, I think they are very non-nice. Some non-nice people here. But I think overall, like, everybody here is nice. I don't know about the US. I can say in the US, but here there are a lot of nice people. So you take advantage of that. You talk in class, contribute in class, be visible. Basically, I try to be visible. I'm a very introverted person. Sometimes I could be, but try to be visible. You know, try to make contributions. So I'll give you specific steps like what I did, and not to be general. For me, after every class or after some special classes where I could see how this professor, your delivery was exceptional, and maybe there's an assignment to submit or something. For assignment, I reply with extra messages like, thank you for today. This particular thing stood out for me. This was a takeaway for me or something like that. And those kind of engagements will help build that kind of relationship. They look out for you in class. You also look out for them in class, and also make connections outside of the class. So like for me, if there are opportunities to engage with them on anything they're working on, I always try to do that. There was this program one of my professors was organizing, and he needed help. He called for volunteers. I joined in. I made sure I was, not just any volunteer. I was very key to, a key volunteer. He did that like two different programs. I keyed in. That was actually how I even got my job. How he recruited me. They didn't do any interview. He just reached out to me directly and said, "Hey, Daniel, come work for me." So like those kind of things, you might think it doesn't matter. You might think you're being too extra. No, there's no such thing as being too extra. As long as what you're doing is is good and is right. There's no such thing as being too extra. As long as it's not costing you anything. So just do it basically, and that's how I build my relationship. I made connections outside the course, LinkedIn, anywhere I have opportunity to make myself relevant. I do that, and so I became very close to not just my professors, to like all my classmates as well. Yeah. So yeah, that works.
And office
so
hours
I think on a separate note, maybe you should even do a different session where you talk about, jobs. I know you mentioned about how to get student jobs and all. Yeah. I currently got this connection from one of, basically what I did was, the recruitment process was there. I saw the name of the company. I went to LinkedIn. I had coded I messaged them directly, founders and the co-founders, and apparently we had mutual connections and we talked about it, and that was how I got connected to them. So sometimes this networking, I know networking might sound like a buzzword, but if you really know your way around, helps. So yeah,
I will sing it again. My episode of how to make friends with people and putting yourself out there, episode 10 or 11 from season 1. I also talked about this networking. I was really explicit. So if anyone still has more questions on friends making, being friendly with people, with your professors, with teachers, with students, anybody at all, I think I would highly recommend that episode. I missed the question about meal prep, so I'll answer it before I ask another question to you guys. I think Mav IX asked about meal prep. So for me, because I couldn't be eating out all the time, and because naturally I preferred Nigerian food, I wasn't even I wasn't that adventurous with food. So I would always cook in bulk, and then so that every time you're at home, you can always just eat, make like soup, stew, porridge in bulk. And yeah, it really does work, like cooking or just having things cut up in your fridge so that one day you can just put together a pasta dish or rice dish. It works. But because I'm not really sure of the time, I'll quickly go on to the next question. So for you, Pearl, what's your favorite thing and worst thing about America? So what's your favorite and worst thing about the US?
It's funny, I don't think I'm that one about this, but what's my favorite thing? Okay, I think my favorite thing about US is the I don't want to actually, the word I was about to say was opportunities, right? Because I feel like there are a lot of opportunities to do a bunch of things, but I mean, I've not thought about this. I think everybody should answer this question. Or maybe if anybody, Ladi.
Okay, Ladi. Okay. I'll come back to you, Pearl. Ladi, what's your favorite and least favorite thing about the US? Like, let me give you an example. Like, when I interviewed Busaya and Ladi the last time, Ladi talked about how she didn't like how litigative the society is. Like, everything had to be built for. Everything was, if you were criminal, like, and then Busaya also talked about how her least favorite thing was to be in America, you have to have money to enjoy America. So those are just like examples. And her favorite thing was that the system is organized. So Ladi, I'll go. What's your favorite and least favorite thing about the US?
Favorite thing, like Pearl said, there's a lot of avenues to do what you want. There's just too much to do. Like it's not polarized. It's just so much to do. There's so many opportunities. There are lesser restrictions than we have back home. I don't know how to. I can't give specific examples now. Just know that like there's just more to do. To be honest, you get the best. I don't say best value out of life, but you can get the better value out of life. The thing I don't like about the US, or possibly where I am currently, because I can't speak for the entire US, but the state I'm in, Americans generally are very individualistic. They keep themselves. They are not. They are friendly. They say they are friendly, but everybody just cares about themselves first. Like that's how I basically feel.
Yeah.
So in Nigeria, somebody, this person is beside your neighbor. Everybody knows each other, but there's a community. Here is not.
Yeah, you have to make your own community. And I was talking to my friend yesterday who just moved in. She was always talking about how her friend went shopping. And then this guy on the elevator saw them go up and down. I never even offered to help them with a bag. Even me too, there was a day I fell down during winter. I fell butt down. And whoever was jogging past me could see that this girl just took a fall. He jogged past. I know, like, I feel like I shouldn't be entitled to his empathy, but I couldn't believe it that he did not stop. Hi, I said, God, these people here, they can be very, very vile, and that's what they say here. They're also like, they're almost like angels and demons at the same time, but I won't talk too much. So, yeah, what's your... Sorry?
When are you guys moving to Canada? Because I can't relate to all of this though.
Interesting. So what's your favorite and least favorite thing about Canada?
Yeah, I think I think my favorite thing about Canada is one of the first things I noticed when I came is that everybody's the diversity here is much like you hear the diversity you actually it's different when you hear it than when you say it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Here is diversity here is much like everybody here. You have people from Congo, people from Eritrea, people from different places, and there is no you won't really notice because there is a shared let's say shared ownership or something. Shared sense of ownership. There's no discrimination. I think that's something I really love about this place. In terms of what's the negative side of your question that you asked, I can't think of any. Even before you asked me and since you asked the question, I've been thinking, is there anything? And maybe because for me, I'm the kind of person that I hardly see the negative side. I always find ways to manage. So I haven't seen anything that is outstanding. This is not so good. This is not a good thing, basically, or this is not so. I think overall, Canada is just a good place to be. Whenever I see people online, saying things like the place is boring, don't come. Yes, I know you could get lonely and all of that. It's not. It's not the worst place to be in terms of that. So overall, I'll say everybody here there's a lot of diversity, which makes it more beautiful to come to Canada.
I know my favorite thing about you now.
Yeah. Okay. So but before, so you guys should also get ready for the one advice you want to give to someone who just moved to the US today. But Pearl, so what's your favorite and least favorite thing?
This might sound very odd, but yeah, my favorite thing about US is how they take every single season and celebration very personal in this country. Like, is it Valentine's Day? Everywhere is going to be red with love balloons. Is it Christmas? Everybody's going to have Christmas decorations in front of their house.
Yeah.
Is it Halloween? Or even just fall? So the entire fall season, everybody has pumpkins and everything. I really like the celebration culture here. They really enjoy themselves any time they get the chance to enjoy themselves. So I really like that, actually. Least favorite thing, I still don't know. I don't have time to really think about things I don't like here. So
yeah, no, there can be a lot actually, but I like the way they pursue things with excellence here. I think that's one for me, and I just like how everything is available. Like anything I want, you can get it, and for easily. So that's another thing. And another thing I really like, I'm whispering, I really like how Amazon refunds me for my inconvenience, even though because my account, maybe my item was delivered late, or how I can do returns, and exchanges. I love it so much.
And also, if you pay more than the item cost, they refund you your balance.
Yeah, I really love it. Okay, so Ladi, I'll start with you. So what's one thing you want to say to someone who just arrived today? Like looking back at your own journey, I know you've been here for about 6-7 months now. Like, what's one thing you would say to someone who's just going to land in the US today? Please be serious. I know you're about to drag somebody now and say something.
Then that means my advice has gone now. To be fair, I will just read your book. The reason why I here is for it depends on the reason that brought you here. But just be focused. The work ethic that you had in Nigeria that brought you here, keep that work ethic because this place is fast-paced.
Yeah.
You need to. It's very fast-paced, and you can lose yourself because everybody's chasing money, everybody's chasing dollars here. You can lose yourself very easily. So, like we've said it throughout the entire duration of this call. Find a way to have relationships. Find support systems around, whether they're in the US, whether back in Nigeria. Very important. Also, try as much as possible to network with people here. Don't have the majority of your life, because the majority of your life is Nigeria, because it causes headache. I'm sorry to say. If you are trying to keep up with people that are in Nigeria that are 6 hours ahead, when they are waking up, like some people call me by 3 a.m. I'm like, why? What is 3 a.m. here? But if you feel like if you are this friendly person, you are guilty, they are calling me at 3 a.m. You just suffer, to be honest. So find a way to manage your time and balance those relationships is very important.
Okay, dear.
Yeah.
Thank you, Ladi. So dear, what's one thing you say to someone who just landed in Canada today? Graduate or undergraduate?
Okay, so
yeah.
who just? I'll say if you get here already, by virtue of getting here, you're already settled, let's say, in a way. But the one thing I would say to you is, just be focused on whatever it is as your goal. Different people have different goals. I know my own goal, right? Just be focused on whatever it is as your goal, regardless, and be open-minded. But still stay focused. You need to be open-minded because yes, like the world is bigger than things you've known, and you get to see a lot of things. Things will shock you, and but just be open-minded, ready to accept, but still be focused on your own goals. That's basically my advice. And then if you're not yet in Canada, you're thinking of coming to Canada, my only advice, because I'm sure you've heard a lot of advice and you had your own list of things to do, but my only advice is please try to get a driver's license. Like, it's going to make your life easier if you don't have. I can explain that later on, but just try to get a driver's license. You can forget about everything. You come here, you buy them, you buy clothes, you buy food, this African store. Like, just get a driver's license. Life will be a lot easier, and you thank me later.
Yeah. I like that. Okay. Thanks, dear. So Pearl, for you, what's one thing you would say to a young lady, a young girl like us who just arrived in the US
before you
today? Wow, Ladi.
So what I have to say is, first and foremost, already I feel like the most important thing is don't let your Nigerian culture, in terms of not like culture as far who you are, but like don't let the Nigerian culture hold you back from who you can be when you're here.
Right.
Well, they say when you're in Rome, behave like the Romans. That's not what I'm trying to say, but like when you're here, don't let respect culture stop you from speaking up for yourself or speaking to people about things. Mm-hmm. Don't let the mentality that because this person is in a higher post than you, they know better than you, they really might not. So say what you're thinking. Always speak your mind. Don't think you can't approach the biggest person in a place to ask questions because you can. Don't think that you're going to struggle to. Don't think that the only way to get recruited is by applying for a job. No, you need to speak to the people in those companies as well. Like, just don't let who you've been and who Nigeria made you into hold you back from accessing all the opportunities that are in this place. Like, there's so many opportunities, and Nigeria really stifles us a lot, and it takes a while to come out of break free of that whole restraints that you've been put under from Nigeria. So don't let that hold you back. Like, I really can't say anything but that. Just don't let that hold you back.
Well, I really like all the advice you guys shared. Even me, yes. And for me, one thing I would say to someone who's going to arrive soon or who just arrived in the US would be to explore your options. Like, for me, and I don't mean that sexually or like in a weird way. I just mean like explore like Pearl said, like explore who you can be. Because when I came here, I'm probably the most close-minded person you ever meet. But coming here, I'm not more accepting. I won't say I've let go of my Nigerian self. I won't say I've let go of my Nigerian self per se. But yes, like what I really want to say is like get ready to live a new life. That's it. Like, just get ready. I just told myself I'm starting all over. And I find out that I'm even now more self-aware. I now know much more about myself. I know the things I can't do. I can't take even as an adult. And then the second thing I should say, which I feel like should be the first, was maintain a high, like a superiority complex about being a Nigerian. Yeah. In a healthy way, of course, because I find out that just because I'm always proud to say, when they're like, oh, introduce yourself, I'm like, hi, I'm Tolu, I'm in Nigeria. Just by that, people already want to talk to me. And then I find out that because I'm so proud of being black, they see me as black, but I'm like, I'm just being Nigerian. I find out that that's actually opened a lot more other doors for me. People, I think there's just something about it, just carrying that energy of this is where I'm from, this is where I'm so proud of it. Like, I'm not afraid to look ignorant. I'm not afraid to look like, oh, I just came here, I just moved here. And I see that that has just really helped me as a person. So yeah, those are like just no matter where you're coming from. I don't care like who your parents were, who they were not. Like, don't make anybody make you feel like a foolish person, because at the end of it all, when you start getting into the classrooms, you find out that you're actually smarter than you think. You find out that, I mean, I didn't even come here with the goals to stay focused or all that, but like, I mean, you should stay focused, like Ladi said, but I find out that even as a Nigerian, just because they taught us first principle way, just because we know how to do things the hard, the narrow way, don't worry, you will find out when you start. You just find out that you're a much more richer individual. Like, you have a rich life. Don't let go of that. How do I explain? Because there's such a struggle life here. Like Ladi said, like, people are chasing money, and then even at home with little you could feel happy. So I've learned so that even if I don't have a lot, just because I convert my dollars to naira, if I have $20, that's like 10,000 naira. If I have 10,000 naira in Nigeria, I'm still a rich woman. You know, I'm still like, I still have money. So I just internalize that no matter what I have or where, yes, I'm still who I am and all that, and it just helps me live a richer life. So thank you to everyone who came here today. This is about 1 hour 30 minutes. And if you have any more questions, please feel free to reach out to my guests personally. They will have much more advice for you. And also to me, you can always leave me a DM, send me an email at non-immigrant@gmail.com. And yes, don't forget to listen to all my episodes, as many as you can and as many as interest you. So thank you guys for joining. Thank you, Pearl. Thank you, Ladi. Thank you, Di. Thank you so much for coming today. And thank you to all the people who keep it bubbling in the comment section. Thank you. Shout out to you guys. Thank you, Tomisin, Etinwa, Abue. This is the shout out place. So bye guys. Or should we play a little game? Oh no, it's really long. Let me see. 1 hour 20 minutes. Okay, bye guys. Thank you. Bye everyone.
Bye. Bye.
Bye guys.
Bye.